sometimes without any luck it doesn't, but never mind. Of course that one will come to it. Here's the rain. Right. First thing we're going to look for is surface runoff. There's your surface runoff. Running off the hard surface. And running off the hard surface onto softer land. And already we can see that a river is forming. It's cutting a shape in the land to flow through. That's called the channel. There's the channel this river has started to form. It's now beginning to break up and spread out because there's different hardness and softness here in the land. I put in some bits of rock and bricks as well. Let's see what happens now. Beginning to form maybe a one on this side of the hill, maybe one on that side. Now, can you see where the river has worn away the land to form a channel? Yeah. What do we call when rivers wear away the land? Anyone know? The word for wearing away the land? Erosion. So erosion definitely happens here, and it'll be happening in other places for you to do. So, can you see anything in the river? Yeah. Rocks and stuff being carried along. In the flood, it was cars and trees. What do we call, what's the word, big long word, for where rivers carry stuff along with them? Transportation. So anywhere you see the river taking stuff with it, it's transportation. It's always in the river channel. Now, as they twist and turn, they're speeding up and they're slowing down. When rivers slow down, they can't transport stuff very easily. And so they very often drop it and leave it behind. Does anyone know the word for what rivers do as they leave stuff behind? Something. Deposition. I'm going to look for some deposition. Well, actually, there is some deposition just here, because the river was here, and then it left behind stuff there. But the most common place for rivers to leave stuff behind is on the inside of a bend. As they twist and turn, the outside of a bend usually speeds up. That is erosion. On the inside of a bend, slow down, deposition. So I'll do another channel. Look here, we've got 1, 2, 3 channels. This river's spreading out very nicely as it's moving down towards the sea. Changing direction, stopping, turning, doing all that sort of stuff. Does anyone know what we call a little river that joins a bigger river? A trib something. Tributary. I'm going to call this one a tributary, simply because it's smaller than the big one. What do we call the area of land that a river spreads over when it floods naturally? Yes, that's right. Floodplain. I'd say that this was a floodplain here. There could be others. Right, I'm coming down to the seaside now for my holidays. Down here. I've got my deck here. Stand back so you can, stand back. You'll see better if you stay back. So look, we've got our river system making its way down. There's islands being formed, different river channels. All this stuff being brought down is silt and sediment being transported. Now huge rivers like the Nile, the Amazon, the Ganges, they bring millions of tons of silt and sediment. They transport it and they dump it in the sea.
And we learned about the River Nile and the silt in the ground.
What do we call the place then that the rivers dump the stuff in the sea and then make channels between? There are two kinds. One is a fan and the other is a bird's foot. And they're both deltas. So I think this river delta is here by my feet, just using our imaginations. That's a sort of river delta. Lots of low islands formed by silt that's been brought down from the mountains. And where the river water mixes with seawater, does anyone know what that area is called? Southend-on-Sea is on the Thames something, beginning with E, pronounced S. Because Estuary, there you go. So where the river water meets the sea water, we call that the estuary. I'm going to say that's about here. And deltas are usually in that area as well. The Mississippi's got a delta. Much of St. Louis, that's the big city near there, New Orleans, well New Orleans definitely, is built under sea level, which is a bit stupid, because when you have a flood, you know what happens. Right.